The DIY project I have here is a setup that will be used as a top-down camera holder. I have been thinking and conceiving this holder based on the problems I face whenever I am using a tripod around a table, which causes a lot of issues, especially on the issue of placement, where to place a camera when you are filming something on the table. So I conceived this idea of a top-down camera holder that is flexible, that has more applications than you would normally have with a C-stand or a monopod set in between your legs. Now this is the concept. This is where the camera will be tied to, and this placement of the camera will allow it to tilt all the way so that the camera is facing downward, and also lift it to about this point so that the camera will be facing upward. This is the focal point where the camera will be acquiring its orientation. This nut here will hold a bolt that will tighten a camera at any orientation. So this is the metal plate where the camera will be sitting. This will be made of a thin metal, and it will be used to lock the quick release plate in place. If you can find a universal quick release plate, that would be better. So this is where the camera will be sitting. This will tighten it on the front side. This will tighten it on the rear side, so the camera will not be moving back and forth during use. This will allow the camera to rotate 360 degrees, so there will be some form of a bearing here. The importance of this part is to give the camera the ability to face any angle while suspended slightly above the table, and get it out of the way if you want to. So moving from A camera to B camera will be very easy. You can also use this camera as a and B camera at the same time, because all you will need to do is suspend it slightly ahead of you, use a wide angle lens, tilt the camera to face you, or tilt the camera to face forward. But if you're using two cameras, then you can get this one out of the way when you don't need it, and bring it in when you need it. This holder here, which will hold the quick release plate in place. This holder here that will hold the quick release plate in place will have a locking mechanism here that will lock it in place, because from the rear side you can see it is movable depending on where you want to place your camera. So let us see the movement of the camera on the mount. So that is how the camera will be moving. And when you find the appropriate point where you want to tighten it, so you can use a knob here and a knob here to tighten it, and whichever orientation you have your camera in, the camera will not move out of place. So this lever here, you can see there's a knob that will be used to tighten the camera at any orientation, and when you move it to about this place here, you will have a very good down-up camera angle. And if you make this hand long enough, then you don't have to crouch to execute those down-up camera angles. What you need to do is have a lever like this one, which is detachable, that you can either use a long one or a short one depending on your application. Considering the bearing that is up somewhere here, so when the camera is sitting here, as I was telling you, the camera can be able to rotate 360 degrees and face you, or rotate this other way depending on how you want to orient it, which means now you will not need to have a gorilla pond sitting on the table to hold the camera. Rather, you will have your camera suspended slightly above the table. So that is the movement depending on how you want to orient your camera. If you want it to face down, if you want top, down, down top camera angle, that is the orientation like that. If you want it to be flat, you tighten it at that point. It will be manual. If you would like to modify yours and make it electronic, it is upon you to do it as you wish. Mine is just to give you an idea that I conceived. So that is how the system looks. And that is my top-down camera holder concept. So I look for loopholes that needs to be fixed, and as time moves on, I'll make it better before I can create one that I can use practically. You can share your mind about it. Have a nice time.
JM Photography Creation Image.